Today we're going to take a look at what I believe is the most underrated sports game that was ever made, and that is Arena Football Road to Glory. So Arena Football Road to Glory is the last Arena Football game that was made, and like I said, it's underrated in my opinion. And today we're going to take a look at it, play a quick game. We're going to look at the rosters and go over the game modes. So the game modes that you have is you have season mode, which I think is actually kind of like a franchise. I think that you can continue playing it after season 1. You could have played online back in the day. There's practice, the field goal challenge, challenges, and situation. So we can take a look at the challenges briefly. So I hope you guys are enjoying this content. It's kind of taking a look at the older games on the PlayStation 2 and then some that were made on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. But I just want to look at these games because these are classic games in my opinion, and the newer games, especially Madden, just aren't really doing it for me anymore. I have actually given up my Madden 24 franchise for multiple reasons, but I'm not enjoying it anymore, and I really don't want to do, long-based series content, at least until the new college football game comes out. That I definitely want to do one on that game. But I hope you guys are enjoying it, and if you are, I encourage you to leave a like as we continue to look at old games. I have a bunch of old PlayStation 2 games, and there's some games that I even want to try and look for and maybe purchase in the future. That way I can feature them on the channel. So we're going to take a look at what the challenges are here. There's wall hit, be the receiver, coverage maneuvers, kicking drill, telemetry, jack linebacker, Mac linebacker, and then wall hit again. So this one is use one of your defenders to hit the ball carrier into or over the wall. So this is a pretty cool feature here that was in the Arena Football games. You can actually tackle them over the wall and into the wall. So we can continue to retry this challenge until I get one to actually be successful here. But this features the most Arena Football teams that there's ever been in a video game. Arena Football now has actually kind of dispersed a little bit. I think they have a couple of teams still in the league, but not a lot. And I don't even know where you can watch the games at this point. So there's a look at like the challenges here. I don't think that they're anything special, but if you wanted to go in there and kind of get familiar with the controls, you can do that, or you can even just go into practice mode and get used to the controls, get used to the game. But you can also create players and create a team in this game. One thing that I do want to do is I want to try and go through the rosters here and see if there's anybody in this game that turned out to be a pretty solid NFL player. As you guys know, Kurt Warner, a Super Bowl winner, an MVP caliber player, started his career out in the Arena Football League. So if we can go through here and try and find anybody, Matt Nagy here on the Destroyers, he's actually, he was a head coach for the Bears. I don't actually know where he's at now, but Matt Nagy was in this game on the Destroyers. So here's the Chicago Rush. John Moyer is a 93 overall. I thought it was 99 overall, but that's just his number. So I guess you guys can pretty much ignore what I just said. But I'm going through the rosters here. The only one that I've seen that had any significant, impact in the NFL is Matt Nagy so far. If I come across anybody else that was in the NFL, I will let you know. Here's Chris Brown, the singer, playing on the Voodoo. And here's Chris Brown again. Kenny McIntyre, I'm not sure if he played in the NFL, but the name is very familiar to me. I think he is a defensive specialist. I think that's what DS stands for. But aside from him and Matt Nagy and then a couple of Chris Browns out there, I actually do not see anybody else that was a significant NFL player. I'm sure a couple of these guys ended up making their way to the NFL. But what I'm seeing here is just a bunch of nobodies. But one thing we can do is we can go on here and create a team. I will say Arena Football Road to Glory got it right, because one thing about it is if you create a team, you can start a season with them. If you don't like their uniforms, you can actually go in and edit their uniforms within the season mode. And I think that you can do that with the already existing teams as well. So that's one thing that I really do like about this game. You have official logos you can go through here, but you also have generic logos, and there are quite a few of them. Here's the rat logo, and this right here is disgusting to look at. I don't think that you would want to face a team with this logo right here. It's pretty scary. The Fighting Roosters. This has got to be one of the goofiest logos here in the game, but a pretty cool name nonetheless. Fighting Roosters. You got the Executioner the chimera fish. I don't know what's up with that beak on it. I don't know what you would even call that. The chihuahua looks hideous, but many chihuahuas actually look like that in real life. You have the cannon, buzzsaw, the bat logo, pretty interesting looking, and the ape logo. So I'm actually just going to choose the bat logo here. We'll stick with this color scheme, but I wanted to show you guys the uniforms here. You get a home uniform and away uniform, and that is it. But you can go through here, change the helmet color. And then this is all kind of like NCAA Football 06 as well. Kind of the same idea as far as the uniform creator goes. You can change the face mask color, and then going down to the pants here, you can change the pants to any color that you want. You can do triple stripe, short stripe, wide stripe, and then you can even just do the logo on the hip, and then that's it. Or you can just do nothing. And then as far as the jersey goes, here's the jersey. I skipped over it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different jerseys that you can choose from. This one right here is probably more of your more modern look. But that's a look at kind of the creating a team aspect to the game, and then creating a player. Pretty self-explanatory. It is the exact same thing, except you're creating a player, and I think you can probably put that player on your created team and then start up a season with them. But we went through the game modes, we went through the features as far as create a player, create a team. We took a look at the rosters. Now I think the only thing that we really need to do is play a quick game. This is going to be a pretty quick video, so you know, if you guys like longer videos, I do have longer videos that I've created in the past, but we're going to be playing on pro and 3-minute quarters. But yeah, that's my goal moving forward here on the channel, is I want to create, you know, 10 to 30-minute videos just highlighting older games. And I think that is what has been best for my channel in the past. And let's say we cover a game here on the channel and you guys seem to love it a lot. Like you guys loved Madden 07. Unfortunately, my Madden 07 game broke just after I recorded that video. NCAA Football 06, you guys enjoyed as well. And I am contemplating doing a series, a small series on NCAA Football 06, or at least wrapping up the Jalen Clark race for the Heisman series. But let's say we come across a game that you guys really enjoy, then we could potentially do a mini series on that game, especially leading up to the release of the new college football game. You know, we're going to have to, you know, come up with some sort of content. I want to cover mini games. I even want to cover Fortnite again. It has become more popular. Obviously, they went away from the OG Fortnite, but I would like to get on Fortnite and kind of cover that. And then maybe I can tell some stories as I'm playing some games. I have a bunch of ideas of what I want to do here on the channel, but the one thing we won't be doing, at least for the foreseeable future, is creating a long form series content. But we're going to select our teams here, and then we will get into an exhibition game. So we're going to be playing as the Georgia Force and Matt Nagy, and we're going to take on the Arizona Rattlers. The Arizona Rattlers are one team in arena football that I do remember watching even in like 2015, 2016. I think they're a pretty historical arena football team, and I think they were even competing for arena bowls, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to play as the Georgia Force here, and then we can take a look at their uniforms. They have a default home and a default away, and we're just going to get into a game here, see how we enjoy it, and see if we can come away with a victory. We are playing on pro, so I imagine we will. And if you guys are unfamiliar with arena football, it is a very high-scoring, action-packed league. The field is only 50 yards long. If you have a 4th down and whatever from your own 3-yard line, your best bet is to probably try and attempt a field goal. It's a fun league. It is very physical, and you will tell by the animations in this game, it can get very interesting. So here come the Rattlers. They have their copper-looking helmets here, and that teal blue. Kind of a cool combination. I don't think they had the copper helmets when I was watching them, but pretty cool uniforms nonetheless. Now you have the fireworks going off indoors, kind of dangerous, but here come the Georgia Force and Matt Nagy, who would later become the head coach of the Chicago Bears. I don't know where he's at now, but we're going to see, can we defeat the Arizona Rattlers? So we have won the coin toss, and I want the football. I want the football right away. I want to try and score. And another thing, if you guys are unfamiliar with arena football, a receiver, at least one offensive player, will be able to get a head start before the ball is snapped. You can probably cheese this game like no other with that, you know, aspect to the game. You can take your fastest receiver, get him on a head start, and try and make a move. As I think speed boost is R1. I may have to go over the controls here to at least make sure it's correct. So let's go to controller layout here. If we go to running, sprint is R1. Okay. See, not a long field at all. It's not very wide at all. And you're going to see we're going to have a receiver come from left to right in motion before the snap. There's a lot of weird rules in arena football as well, as far as Ward's going to take this one to the house on the very first play of the game. But there's a lot of rules as far as the linebackers not being able to leave the tackle box and other things like that. I'm actually unfamiliar with majority of the rules in arena football, so if I were to do even a small series on this game, I would have to become familiar with them. And then kicking is pretty easy. You just aim to press X, or press X to aim, I should say, and then you just take the right stick down, and then once you get to the power you want, you just flick the right stick up and try and do it as straight as possible, and you will be pretty successful. Another thing you'll notice, the clock will continue to run even after you score a touchdown. The only time that the clock stops is when you line up to kick the ball off. I think when you throw an incomplete pass, the clock might even run as well. So typically when I play football series games, I will not user the defense. I'll just let the AI control the defensive players. But since we're playing a quick game here, I am actually going to control the defensive players and try and make some plays. I should probably check to see what the speed boost on defense is as well. I do believe it is R1, so we will check it. Gatewood is going to take this one up to the 21-yard line. Thought he was going to be able to break free and take it to the house potentially, but he did run into that wall. So Arizona is on the move here. You actually can't see how much time is on the clock unless you are picking your play. So that's something you have to look out for as their receiver comes in motion. We try to bring the blitz, and he's taken down after a short pickup. First downs are still only 10 yards, so that's something to think about as well. In arena football, you'll see teams traditionally score very quickly, but you can see some long, methodical drives even in arena football. So we're trying to bring the blitz, but we're just not getting to him. There's a fumble, and we're going to pick it up and have the ball at the 1-yard line. Get out of the end zone, or you're going to have a safety, as the game is lagging a little bit. But we are finally taken down at the 2 or 3-yard line, something like that, as the coach is getting on the quarterback, even though the quarterback wasn't the one who fumbled the ball. So Bonner, 3 for 4 passing, 37 yards, as we're going to get X going here. And this is one of my favorite plays when I have played this game. He's just going to run a streak. And if he can outrun his defender, he's going to catch it 10 out of 10 times. That time, the defender actually did a pretty good job of catching up to him. And Joe Todd is also injured on the play. He injured his hand, something that the PlayStation 2 games did so well. If a player injured his hand, then it would reflect in the game. The player would be holding his hands. I can't tell you how many times I saw in Madden where a player injured their leg, but they were holding their arm when they were on the ground. So third down here. Apparently it's third down. I didn't think it was. And that one is going to be caught up against the wall and taken down, as it should only be, that should have only been second down, but I swear it said third down. Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know. But 37 seconds left here in the first quarter as we're knocking on the door for the second time. Here is Greason. I thought that, I don't know how to scramble, but I thought Matt Nagy was the, no, he's not. He's the quarterback for the Gladiators, right? That's what no, the Destroyers. At this point, I don't even remember what team Matt Nagy played for. I thought it was the Georgia Force, but maybe I'm just dumb. Another thing in arena football, if you don't capitalize and you do not score, that might come back to haunt you, because this is a league in which teams probably score on at least 80% of their drives, maybe even higher. I don't know the actual statistic, but if you don't score, it could come back to haunt you. So we have third down and 15 here, and that is going to be the end of the first quarter. We lead 7-0. If I were to do a series on this game, I would probably do 5-minute quarters just so that I could get a pretty good representation of stats. As it's third down and 15, we're just going to go with a wide receiver run here and see if it helps. It's a pitch as Morris is taken down, and it's going to bring up fourth down. In this situation, I feel like I would go for it. Let's see what the CPU wants me to do. They want me to kick a field goal. The uprights are the width is not very wide. So if you are off even in the slightest, you're probably going to miss your field goal attempt. So let's see if we can make this one here. It's not a long field goal, so I imagine we will make it And we do. Another thing as well, when you kick off, the ball can bounce off of the net. And if it bounces off the net and the kicking team and the kick return team doesn't recover and you recover, it's practically like an onside kick. So if you can aim it pretty well and you can hit it off of those uprights, you can get the ball to bounce back into the field. We'll see what happens here, as it is going to bounce off the upright, but it's caught by Pope and he's going to be taken down at the 10-yard line, hit sticked at the 10-yard line. I want to see a player go over the wall. And I think this time right here, we're going to match up on Horn. I don't know how we're going to do here, as they throw it out to Gatewood, and he is tackled up against the wall. I mean, we could do a small series on Arena Football where we just go through, a single season. That's something we could definitely do. Not really commit to an actual dynasty, as that one was nearly intercepted by myself. But we could just do one season, pick one team, and try and win the Arena Bowl, and then go about it that way. I think that's something that could make the series short, sweet and short, and to the point. As this right here is going to be a zone defense. I actually don't know how to just backpedal. I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't think I can. If there's somebody that goes over the wall, he's not tackled over the wall, but he's laying on the ground out like he's dead at the end of that play. So 2nd down and 7 here. I'm just going to match up Milligan again on Horn. I don't know how to backpedal. I don't want my player to just run. I would like them to try and stick with their wide receiver. And I don't even know where he's at, as that's DeMatteo. Probably an Italian guy. Bonner is 7 for 8 passing. He's having a pretty decent day. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to pause it here. I want to know how to just backpedal with my defender, as that one's going to be incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down upcoming. What is Arizona going to do here? They're going to actually go for it. I think it's 4th and inches. They might run the football here. And I don't think there's any, adjustments that you can do to the defense pre-play. So we're going to see what happens here on 4th down and inches. Do they hand it to number 22? The dude looks huge. They do on the toss, and he's going to break a tackle and pick up the 1st down after being hit hard at about the 15-yard line. They're taking a lot of time off the clock here. We did get the football first, so if they can score here and get the ball to start the second half, they'd actually be in pretty good business. We're going to cover Horn here. He's wide open. He makes the play. I just lost him. He went to the back of the end zone, and then from there, he broke off of his route and actually made a pretty good play. So you'll see the time is actually winding down right here. So they can actually run this down all the way to the 0 on the play clock, waste some more time. It's kind of a strategy to do so. But with 44 seconds, that's plenty of time to score. We have all 3 timeouts, and the clock will stop until we get the football back. They're actually going to go with the onside kick. This is interesting right here. With 44 seconds left, they think, hey, they might score anyways, but if they're going to score, we'd rather them score quickly. Kind of a bold move, but I can see why they would do it. So the clock is running here. We can just waste the clock anyway, as we have 77 yards. They have 78. But with 31 seconds left here, we're going to try and score one final time. We're going to try and get it to Ward. He was open, and he catches it off the wall. I actually didn't know that you could do that in this game, but we're going to have to run it back here, take a look at the replay. I did not know that would actually happen. So let's try and zoom in here. So it bounces off the wall, and you can catch it off the wall. I never would have thought that you could do that in this game. So the one thing that I was just trying to experiment with was a thumbnail. I actually don't know how I'm going to get a thumbnail in this game, but because you can't actually free roam with the cursor. You actually can lock on to a player, and from there, you're kind of stuck with what you got. So I don't know how I'm going to get a thumbnail here, but I'm going to try and get one, as here is the PAT with 1 second left here in the first half, and that is going to do it for the first half here in Georgia. We lead 17-7. A very great catch off the wall. Had no idea you could do that, but it doesn't matter. We have a 10-point lead, and the cheerleaders are on the field for halftime. There we go. That's a good thumbnail. So they went with an onside kick to end the first half, so we're going to do one to begin the second half here and see if it works. So here is my attempt at an onside kick, and the kicking team recovers, but there is a penalty flag down. The ball still has to go 10 yards even in this game, as they are going to have the football at the 7-yard line. Almost certainly going to be a score here, but I want to get back on offense anyway. Receiver in motion from right to left here. Quarterback's going to roll out. He's going to scramble and take it down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. So we're going to go with the zone defense. They have big number 33 in the backfield here. Here's the pitch to the receiver, and he's in for a touchdown. Arizona strikes back quickly. DiMatteo on the 2-yard touchdown run. A very short drive for Arizona. They didn't have to do a whole lot. This one's going to bounce off of the crossbar. I don't know how to juke. Here's a spin move, and he is tackled over the wall. Finally, we see that animation. As usually, if you let the cutscene play out long enough, you might actually see the players get into a little bit of a scuffle. As I'm going to try and throw this one deep, I do believe, to Ward. You got to get it there. Here's the pass to Ward, and he's going to be taken down at the 2-yard line. And Chris Greason is injured. He injured his hip. He's going to hobble off the field here. Boy, oh boy, is he hurt. Ward with 3 catches for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here's our backup quarterback, Gaunt. And we're going to run the quarterback draw with him here on his first play. How does it work? Gaunt is in the end zone for a touchdown. The backup quarterback comes in, and he is fearless. So Chris Greason will be out for the remainder of the game with a hip pointer. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury for him, even though he is a, fictionalized character. As this one's thrown deep, I actually don't know how to make a play on it, but number 26 does it anyways. I feel like he's one of the guys who has scored a touchdown for us. Maybe it's just a incorrect part of my imagination here. It is Ward. So yeah, Ward with 2 touchdowns on offense, and he's playing good on defense as well. As we're going to control Lee here. That little green box, that's the box I'm talking about that your defender cannot leave or it will be a penalty. As this one's caught by Horn. He's taken down to the 15-yard line. Bonner is 9 of 12 passing, 96 yards, and a touchdown in this game. Horn is open, and he's going to catch it, and he's near the sticks. Does he have a first down? It is going to be 2nd down and inches here. I'm going to match up on Horn again here. Hopefully I can make a play this time. 27 seconds left here. And there's a big-time tackle on Mitchell. And I don't think he got the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and inches. They might try to run the football again here. 17 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Could be the last play. Horn is the receiver that we're going to try and stop. And it's going to be a 3rd down stop by number 95, Allen. I don't think so. 4th down upcoming for Arizona. And I'm not so sure they're going to get the play call off here with 5 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. They're not going to. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. We lead 24-14. We're 3 minutes away from winning this game. So yeah, I think if I were to do a series, it would be 5-minute quarters, because typically when you watch an arena football game, the final score is usually always in the 50s, 60s. I've seen games in the 70s as well. Here's a run to number 33, and he's not going to get there. Arizona probably should have just taken their 3 and tried their luck on an onside kick instead. They're going to give the ball back to us. And I'm going to do this loop quarterback draw again. I want to see if it works. We've only run 8 plays on offense. So here's Gaunt. Can he make a play here? Ward's going to come in motion. What does Gaunt have for us? And he's going nowhere. He's taken down in an instant. We're going to try and get the football to Bergeron here, as long as the blocking can hold up. Here he is. He's wide open. Bergeron caught. No, he dropped it. 3rd down upcoming. I'm kind of thinking about just running a quarterback draw again, because I want to see if we can make a long field goal. And I think it's also mandatory that a receiver go in motion pre-play. As here is Gaunt. He picks up a block. Gaunt's got blockers. He breaks a tackle. Another tackle. And Gaunt is gone. What a play. So I guess if you have a speedy quarterback, you can even include a running game. I know that arena football is notoriously known for the passing game, but Gaunt just went crazy. As we're going to try a fake field goal attempt with Gaunt here. I don't have high hopes for this. They typically don't work in these older games. We'll take a look at it. Here is Gaunt. He's going to be taken down at the 5-yard line. So the 2-point try is no good, but Gaunt with a 43-yard touchdown run. As we just got a penalty because we kicked the football out of bounds. I got to imagine that's probably going to give Arizona the ball in pretty good field position. I guess in arena football, you're always in good field position, seeing as you only have to go 50 yards to score. But they're going to take over at the 20-yard line. Can we stop them? This one's going to be thrown deep, and it's a good defensive play by number 23. Horn is in motion again, as we're going to try and lock him down here, as DiMatteo catches it for a short gain. Timeout for Arizona. That is their first with 1 minute and 33 seconds to go. We are dominating this game. I think I would also have to bump up the difficulty as well. 4th down upcoming after a great defensive play. And then Arizona has to call a timeout again. Even though it was an incomplete pass, the clock would have remained ticking. And I feel like it was 1 minute and 31 seconds when I looked at it last time. And now it's at 1 minute and 32 seconds. I don't know what's up with that. But 4th down here for Arizona. Can we get them off the field? Horn was open, but it's a great play by Ward. And we're going to get the football back again. So we have 3 timeouts here. We're going to run the quarterback draw one more time with Gaunt to see if we can cruise in for another touchdown. For some reason, Gaunt just has the moves as he's going to be taken down over the wall. What a play by the defense. So 2nd down and 9 upcoming here. I have been unsuccessful trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the thumbnail. Hopefully the thumbnail turns out to be pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be or not. We're going to try and get this one to Bergeron. He's got a step and he's going to score a touchdown. So we're going to try the fake field goal again here, but we're going to try a fake field goal pass. And I think I'm going to try and throw it back to the kicker, Lewis, as that is the 1 minute warning. That is a thing in this game. So the clock will stop with the 1 minute warning. Try and throw this one back to Lewis, and he's taken down at the 5-yard line. The 2-point try is no good. And we're going to try one last onside kick here with Lewis. Does he have what it takes? Here is the onside kick. It's bouncing around. It's going to be taken by Damond. Not Damon, just Damond. Nick Ward is your Champ Sports player of the game. He did very well on defense. He did extremely well on offense with a couple of spectacular plays, as this one's caught by DiMatteo with 44 seconds to go. They're going to go with the hurry-up offense here. 39 seconds left in the game. Arizona goes with the hurry-up offense, then takes forever to get the play call off, but they're going to score. It's Gatewood with the touchdown. 21 seconds to go here in the game, as this one is caught by Gatewood, and the 2-point try is successful. 18 seconds to go. And they're going with the onside kick again. They tried it earlier in the game. At the end of the first half, it was unsuccessful. They need it here, and they need to score 2 touchdowns to even have a chance to tie this game up, as Gary is going to recover the onside kick, and with 16 seconds to go, I think we're going to walk away with a victory. Here is Gaunt. Can he make a play? Here's Lee quickly, and Lee's going to score the touchdown. We continue to pile on the points here in Georgia, and the clock will wind down all the way to about 2. We're going to take our points, and then we are going to walk away with a dominant victory here on the first time that you guys have seen arena football here on the channel. I don't know if it's going to be the last time, but I certainly hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to go back to the main menu. First, we'll take a look at some stats. We're going to see if there's a little cutscene here as the game ends. As the fireworks go off, like I said, fireworks going off indoors is crazy. As the team celebrates on the field, Gaunt comes in and just makes some plays. Ward with a extremely acrobatic catch off the wall, even though I think a toddler could have caught that one. But a dominant victory for Georgia. So you actually unlock some teams here. The New Orleans Knight is a team that I unlocked, and there was one more that I also unlocked. So we'll take a look at the game stats here. 43-22 was the final score. We had 199 yards of offense. We actually ran for 53 yards, which is higher than I've ever run for in this game. Only 2 first downs. We had no giveaways. We had 1 takeaway on that fumble at the beginning of the game. We were 0 for 2 on 2-point conversions. We had 2 penalties, and they actually led the time of possession. Chris Greason was really efficient, 4 for 6, 2 touchdowns, but Glenn Gaunt, 2 completions on 3 attempts, 2 touchdowns, 34 yards. But he also had a 46-yard touchdown run and 2 rushing touchdowns total. Nick Ward with 2 touchdowns on 3 receptions. And then on defense here, I'm interested to know who forced the fumble. It was Willie Gary, and he also recovered the fumble as well. Looking at the Rattlers here, I actually don't know how you say his first name, so I'm not going to say it, but Bonner with 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball for not a whole lot. And then it was Cosmo DiMatteo who led the receiving for Arizona. But a pretty fun game. The one thing that I'm concerned with is I don't know how I'm going to get a thumbnail for this game. But that is going to do it for this episode, you could say, of Arena Football Road to Glory. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a very fun game. It's a game that I would actually consider, starting a 1-year season series on just to have some games to play when I don't know what else to record. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had fun recording this one, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.